Hey guys,
it's Ken
and Han, and we are here for another girl talk.
These are probably my favorite video to film.
I know, I love these because we literally just chat about things that we would actually talk about in real life.
I believe this is part 8 of the series, so you should check out all the other ones because, to be honest, every time I'm like, there's no way we're gonna top the last.
And then it does. I know,
we'd be bringing the heat.
It's one of my favorite videos series that we have for sure.
So. But anyway, we're gonna get into it. We each have 5 questions. I'll ask her and she'll answer, and
vice versa. You get the
if you've been here, you know how it goes.
So.
What is your biggest deal breaker in a relationship?
Specifically for me, somebody who does not value family. I'm close to my family. I want my boyfriend, whoever I end up with, to be willing to be close to my family and care about theirs as much as I care about mine. So like I want equal family values, because then whenever we have our own family, I want it to matter. Like I just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It translates into that. So that would probably be my top one that I think of. What do you think it'll feel like when you realize that you found the one?
Wow.
I know, we're hard hitter. It's good though, because people always say, oh, you just know, so I don't know what your take is.
Yeah, I definitely think it'll just happen naturally, and I don't know if there'll be like an aha moment. Maybe there will be. I really think it'll just feel like very confident, like contentness. You're like, yep, this is it. And I feel like when you're young and naive, you're constantly like, we're gonna get married, and you're like, you have to project what's happening, where I think when it's really the one, I think more people will be telling you like, I really admire you as a couple, you guys are great together, like more comments like that, which I just don't think most people I know at my age like haven't really gotten there or experienced that.
Okay.
Just all the butterflies, you know?
Yeah. Good one.
Okay, what is a key step in becoming comfortable around your partner?
That's a good question.
Because I know it takes time.
Honestly, I was gonna say time.
Oh, okay.
Like I feel like that's the first thing that popped in my head when you said that.
Yeah.
Without really thinking about it, because I don't know that there's really anything that necessarily makes it happen. I feel like it's just natural, and if you guys are compatible and it is meant to work, then it'll just happen naturally with time. I mean, the only thing I would say that could be in your control would be like honesty. Could help with that. Being yourself 100%, and like I feel like it just comes naturally more so than a thing that you need to do to make it happen.
True.
Before you react, I basically want to know, how do you tell the difference between something that's like worth ending a relationship over and something to just deal with for the person that you're with? And in that I mean, like, obviously in relationships, no relationship's perfect, and there are going to be things that you might disagree on that can be overlooked because they're not significant enough to, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I want to know, how do you know when it's time to let go versus keep pushing through just because it's worth it and it's not worth the fight?
I have two, like,
you know
there's 2 parts to this that I think add up to the solution.
Okay.
I would say, first and foremost, it comes down to yourself. I think you have to think about whatever flaw, whatever obstacles in your way, how does that affect you? And how is it going to hinder you personally? Because to be in my opinion, fully in a relationship and like put whatever it is that you've promised to give, like you mentally and personally need to be taking care of yourself, and you need to like not be able to stress about this thing, or are you going to think about it all the time? Is it going to weigh you down? Like, is it going to make you a less version of you, knowing this information, holding on to this information, judging this person with this information? Because if it is, then you're not even being the person you promised in this relationship. You're settling. And I'm sure when you went into it, you're like, I will never settle. I will be happy. We can compromise, but I will not settle. So I think by overlooking something on your part, you're doing not only yourself a disservice, but your partner a disservice. And then I would say second involves mainly the other person. Do you like the idea of them or actually them? Are you comfortable when you're like, this is great, like, I think we're going to be together forever. I've told myself we're going to be together forever. Like, we are going to be together forever. You don't know that. No one knows that. Even when you're married, you don't know that. Like, there's no way to know. Are you just comfortable and like the idea of what's been happening and like where it's going? Or are you at the point, like, it's very hard to be like, you know, I like him, I like her, I like what we have, I could make it work, but realistically I shouldn't have to, like, this shouldn't have ever come up, at least with your standards.
And
I would always challenge people to think about the tougher decision, because usually the tough decision, in my opinion, is the right decision.
mm-hmm.
And obviously, I'm not saying that you'll never have doubts or you'll never wonder, and people I do think are worth forgiving. Your life is only going to be up to the standards that you withheld it to, and that includes your partner.
Mm-hmm.
And should be verbally and like just very clear like what that is, not
Yeah.
only through like the tone you set with your conversation.
Well, and I guess the main reason why I asked that question was to point out the fact that like relationships are work, and not every single relationship is just easy breezy. So that's why I was kind of thinking along the lines of like what's worth working for and what's not. Like how do you know what's worth working on and what's just like
Yeah,
I guess you know in your heart.
I think you know in your heart. I think behaviors are patterns. I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of things don't change. I think you can grow, but
Yeah.
especially by our age, like
Mm-hmm.
most people are the way they're gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any advice for how you handle like days you have low self-confidence?
Ooh, I have two things. One, when I say this, I definitely don't mean just like sit in your sorrows and sulk, because that's not a good solution. But sometimes there's really not much you can do besides just chill and let it pass. But then there's another approach. Try to do little things that don't take much effort but still like bring me joy and like relief and like relax me. Try to get up and get out and remind yourself that this feeling is temporary.
That's a good point.
And that you will get through it. If you could take a single photograph of your life, what would it look like?
I mean, I would love to just take like all my closest friends and family and like people I care about and just like put like a collage. Yeah, I don't want us to stand there for a picture. I want to take pictures I've previously taken, and everyone gets one. You get one body in there. You can pick what you want, but like one me, one you, like one of like Colton, mom, dad, like all the people, and just like collage style, throw it in there, because I think that would capture like some good memories. For me, I love what I've accomplished, but I'm so young. It's not like I have like a product or something where I'd be like, this is my life's work.
Yeah.
And hopefully one day it would be like my kids and my family, but I'm not there yet. So
Right.
I think it'd just be like my friends and like obviously like they've touched my life. Hopefully I've touched theirs. So like we just put that all together. Do you have any advice on maintaining a successful long distance relationship?
Make time to FaceTime and not go like weeks without a face-to-face conversation. And by face-to-face I mean like telephone or like actual speaking conversation.
Yeah.
Like texting is fine and all, but if you're not actually speaking, then it's hard to get close to being in person. Like it's hard to replicate that and get that same feeling and have that same kind of connections. And I would say with that, to not text all day every day about every single little thing, because if you do, then there's less to talk about and it's less exciting to actually when the time comes to talk on the phone or see them in person or whatever. The quality of the conversation is better. I feel like if there's less like every hour texting constantly of all days, which not that you can't check up on each other, but overall I feel like it makes the combos better. Doing like small gestures, whether it's sending flowers or ordering a pizza for them and sending it to them. I've literally never done that, so I don't know why I'm saying that, but
like getting food
could
delivered.
be cute. Yeah. Like small gestures to show that like you still care and that like you want to be together and want to be doing things for them, but since you can't, this is the next best thing.
Yeah, I agree.
I should take my own notes. Maybe you'll be receiving a pizza soon, because I know, not that we're in long distance, because we're really not, but like
That's true.
that'd be cool. And making the other person feel like they're thought of and cared about and considered even when you're not together.
Yeah.
Should the past matter in a relationship?
Do you mean past before the person or past like in the relationship?
Past before the person.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing to do
Just
with...
clarifying.
Yeah. Nothing to do with each other.
I don't think any previous relationship should define you. Like, I know there's the sentiment of like once a cheater, always a cheater. I mean, that's the extreme, I feel like, but I also feel like sometimes people don't treat the person that they previously were with maybe the best, but maybe they've changed and grown. So I don't think it doesn't matter, but I would say specific individual behaviors, morals, and that kind of stuff, like, definitely carries in. Like, realistically, if you're an upstanding person, like, you wouldn't be doing that in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were, like, maybe there's a reason for it, or you're going through a time and didn't realize it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think a lot of grace and forgiveness, and just, like, also humility. I don't think there's anything wrong with ever admitting, like, you did something bad but are improving. Yeah, overall I would just say no. I don't think the previous relationship matters or affects the current one. I just think them as a person in the past, as who they were in that relationship independently, you could kind of care about. Like, something that I really admired and heard from, like, a friend of a friend is, if you ever ask someone why they would say that their previous relationships has ended from their ex's perspective. So
if I would ask you, why do you think your ex-boyfriend thinks things ended between y'all?
Yeah, I would give my ex-boyfriend's perspective
instead of yours.
Yes, because it's like when you go to a job interview and they're like, what's your biggest flaw?
Because then you have to really kind
or what's
of
your
think
biggest
about what
weakness.
you might have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many of these you've gone on, like, in your life.
And this is about first dates?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, what would your ideal first date be?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know that, maybe, like, things you wouldn't want to do on a first date, like activities or... Okay. I saw this on a podcast somewhere and I thought it was interesting how people differed.
Okay. So, I don't really know what my ideal first date is. Maybe if I think of something while I'm talking, I'll say it. But something I would say avoid, and what I would not want to do, especially at the age that we are now, is I do not want to go to a movie for a first date. I feel like that's such a typical answer that everybody says, but I am not going on a date with you for the first time to sit next to you.
I agree.
And feel your presence. Yeah. And enjoy your company without speaking. Like, I want to actually get to know you and see if I want to go on another date. Because if we're just watching a movie, how am I supposed to know if I like you?
Yeah,
and want to go on another date?
Guys be trying to get handsy too fast.
Right.
That's what you're here for, brother.
Right. I feel like a movie is more of like, okay, we've been dating for a little bit and we just want to enjoy each other's company and enjoy the movie together.
Yeah.
We know we're good. We know we like each other. Not like we need to get to know each other, so let's watch a movie.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just really hard to talk to somebody and see if you actually could be compatible with them. So
yeah, I don't know if I'd actually watch the movie. I'd be like,
I do, yeah.
Like, eyeing them the whole time, be like,
exactly. So definitely stay away from movies for first dates. I feel like doing an activity for a first date is good because if it's going badly, it's not only like a dinner, for example. Yeah. You just have to sit there and talk the whole time. There's no other distractions, nothing else to talk about besides what's in front of you, which is food and conversation. Yeah. And there's no other really thing to tie in to the conversation, whereas if you're doing some type of activity and it's going terribly wrong, you can kind of avoid having serious or like intense conversations or being forced to like talk in front of their face the whole time. And if it's going well, then great, you can talk and do the activity, and it's just like a fun way to get to know somebody, but it's like a little less intense and less scary. Yeah. So I don't know, whether it's like putt-putt, bowling, arcade, something like axes throwing or something like that.
I thought you said X's and I was like,
no, I said axes and then it's axe throwing.
Okay.
So yeah, I feel like
that's a good answer.
Yeah.
It's always nice to start with the activity, and then if you wanted to go to dinner after or like grab ice cream or like, it's easy to continue from there rather than
I agree.
Dinner you can't get out of, and if you really enjoyed it, like you can hit or miss on what to do after depending on the situation.
Last one. This one's kind of like off like
the topic.
It's like kind of not related to anything and might be a little bit sad, so sorry. But what's your advice for dealing with any kind of grief or loss?
Specifically like a death or like a loss of a friend?
Just any kind.
As a general note, just like time heals everything. I know that's so cliche, but there's not what may take some people 3 months to heal, may take others 3 years to heal, and that's okay. I know in the moment it helps to stay busy, But I do think taking time to like feel whatever emotions you're feeling and work through them in your head is very important. I think that's like a level of emotional intelligence, maybe. I don't want to say maturity, but it only benefits you down the road for whenever it happens next. Because like my mom would tell me when I was younger, the two things that are like guaranteed in life is like death and change. And when I think about my future and like how I would want like my passing to be handled, I definitely would want it to be like a celebration of life. So try to think about that with other people and celebrate things and find ways to incorporate, if they really are close to you, incorporate them into your daily routine. Or when you see, I know some people see butterflies or certain birds and think
of them,
their relatives, or like a rainbow. So find your thing and just like see them in the little things.
Plus try to like think about how good the times were that you did get to spend with them. That is all for this girl talk. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Like and subscribe because this was good.
It was good.
It was good.
It was good.
They do stay good.
They do.
That's where that originated.
That's true.
Good.
Wow.
Shout
out to that.
Good.
No, you wouldn't. Shout out to that Kenna, because she was.
We should make that a meme.
We should.
GIF or a GIF.
We should. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a video soon. Bye.